Hey guys.
Hello! What are you up to?
When we did the Tombstone, we kind of ran out of time and I didn't get to finish it like I wanted to. And I've been meaning to get back to it, but we've been really busy. And we promised in the last video that we would do a little bit more on here. And I think I'm ready to do that because I got a good idea.
What's your good idea?
When we originally did this, that's controlling the volume of the signal going into the LM386 preamp. That's controlling the high-pass filter roll-off point going into it. And this is controlling the volume of the power amplifier, the big tube amplifier. So, in using the amplifier for several months, I really haven't found that much of a use for the high-pass filter being right on the amp like this.
Okay.
So, I was thinking, one thing about that LM386 that's really cool is that if you give it a lot of voltage on its power supply, it's very clean. And we're giving it like 10 volts here, so it's fairly clean. But if you starve it of voltage, it actually gets some really weird, cool, grungy strangeness.
Crunchiness?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh!
You gotta grab the front there.
The innards.
So, what I was thinking was, instead, what we could do, potentially, is repurpose that front center knob here to do a slightly different job.
Change the grunginess.
Yeah. Instead of using this as a roll-off point controller, what we could do is make it a voltage divider where the wiper is providing power to the preamp. One side of it is hooked to ground and the other side of it is hooked to our 10-volt power supply.
Okay.
And I did the math, and this is a 10K pot. So between the two sides of it would be 1 milliamp.
Okay.
To have it constantly hooked up between power and ground.
Okay.
Which is okay. Pot should be able to handle that just fine. And that gives us a full range linear. No, these are logarithmic, aren't they?
Yes.
So logarithmic range from 0 volts up to 10. And we'll see how that goes. I don't know how logarithmic is going to play well with power supply. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
But I think it's going to be a fun little experiment. So the first step is we have to actually get this guy off of here, which is going to require some screw finagling funness because it's all hidden up inside of there and stuff. So it's going to take both of us. We'll be back.
Okay. Here we are from Addie's point of view. Yo.
Okay, so basically what we have here is we got the input jack. I've actually got the output hooked into it.
So it's a pretend input jack.
So this is the input, and there's the tip. That's where the guitar signal comes in. And that comes out to the blue wire here through the shielded cable to the tip of where on the Amplify Me, there used to be a 1/4 inch jack here, but I modified the board by cutting it off and just soldering directly to there. And the ground is connected here through that pin, the shield pin, up to the body and the shield of the guitar. So the whole guitar is shielded to the system. And this is the power coming into the amplifier, 10 volts and ground. And this is the capacitor going into the RC circuit, so capacitor to wiper.
And the RC circuit was formerly acting as the high-pass filter.
Yes.
Yep.
So the wiper sets the resistance to ground. So we're using it as a variable resistor.
Okay.
And then the signal that isn't sucked up by all of this goes along through to this blue wire, which goes to the tip of this, which plugs into where the volume potentiometer used to be on the Leslie Type 25 tube amplifier.
Okay.
So that's our signal path as it is. The shield here is connected up to the shield here, is connected to the chassis ground here.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's not complicated.
So now what you're changing is...
I'm gonna make it so that the signal leaving the amplifier,
yes,
the preamp, here no longer touches this. So we're gonna remove this solder point here and then pull this out. And then instead we're gonna just route it so that the signal line is routed along the bottom, hooks up to the capacitor here, and goes up to the output. So it's no longer a filter, it's just DC blocking between the preamp stage and the power amp stage.
Okay.
Okay. And then we've got this potentiometer opened up, and this is the one we're gonna reuse as our power selector.
Mm-hmm.
So this side's already connected to ground. You can see that this end of the potentiometer is soldered to its case, and the case is connected through the copper of the front to ground of the whole circuit. Mm-hmm. So that's our ground side, and this will be our power side. Power is currently coming in here. So we're going to desolder that red line, solder it up to that side of the potentiometer.
Okay.
Now we've created a voltage divider between these 2 points.
Okay.
By moving the potentiometer back and forth, we're changing the resistance between these 2 points and these 2 points. So if you know your circuit math, when you got a resistor on both sides between power and ground and then some point in the middle, that point is going to be a voltage somewhere between 0 and 10,
okay,
depending on where you set the resistance.
Okay.
So that means that we're able to get from 0 to 10 off of this line coming out of this wiper, and from this wiper we'll go to the power input on the amplifier board.
So red goes to the power side here, and then the resultant voltage comes from here to power the chip, because depending on how it powers the chip, we get crunchy sound or clean sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the idea. And I've got a few wires and stuff, and we'll get to soldering here.
Okay.
No one left, and I don't feel bereft. The empty streets are going to my head. Killing zombies in a dress. Apocalypse is such a mess. Get up, get pretty, get gone, get good or get dead. I keep my fear in its cage where it belongs. Can't let it out, I'm running all night long. I keep my fear in its cage where it belongs. Can't let it out, I'm running all night long. I've got no one left, and I don't feel bereft. The empty streets are going to my head. Killing zombies in a dress. Apocalypse is such a mess. Get up, get pretty, get gone, get good or get dead. I keep got no one left, and I don't feel bereft. The empty streets are going to my head all night long. Killing zombies in a dress. Apocalypse is such a mess. Get up, get ready, get gone, get good, get all night long. I keep got no one left, and I don't feel bereft. The empty streets are going to my head all night long. Killing zombies in a dress. Apocalypse is such a mess. Get up, get ready, get gone, get good, get all night long.
Okay, so she's all back together, and I think all the mods are right, but we won't know until we turn it on and see if the magic smoke comes out. Okay, now it's plugged in, and turn it on. Keeping an eye on the potentiometer stuff down there. So that's the main amplifier. There's the 3 LM36. Okay, it loses voltage there. So that's the down. So there's some weirdness. I think what would fix that would be adding a couple of resistors between ground and one wiper and between power and the other wiper, just to make sure there's always some resistance there. But we gotta play with it and see what's going on.
Okay. How about that man with that guitar? Do you know that one on that one? How about the buttering hearts?
We post videos all the time, so don't forget to subscribe. And follow us on Twitter at TYMKRS.